versus Brazil. And they've given me the password, but it doesn't appear to be working. So we'll see if we can get in there. Nope. Hmm. Well, that password is not working to get us into the game. So we're going to have Brazil on Dragon. While I'm waiting for them to get me this password here, let's take a quick look at the deck list here. So we've got, all right, a Mountains Anvil Castle Dragon deck. Looks like they are on Phoenix Splash, Against the Waves, Clarity of Purpose, Unmatched Expertise. So character cannot become dishonored with that. Looks like probably lots of Shigenja with Against the Waves, Yokuni, Kodaka. So actually just a few Mystic and Swordsmith and Doom Shigenja. So a few Against the Waves targets in there. Let's see. I'm still waiting on that password. I've let them know that it's not letting me in. They're double checking for me. Indomitable Will. So it looks like pretty fun. We've got 2 Cloud the Mines, 2 Finger of Jade, 3 Seal of the Dragon. So Seal of the Dragon is going to be good for giving Yokuni the monk status to use Hurricane Punch and Void Fist. We see 2 Policy Debates as their restricted card. So it looks pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and take a look at the crab deck now. And it looks like they said they've game with the password. So I'll try jumping in that here real quick. So let's see here. All right. So let me, hurrah. So, all right. We will take a look at this crab deck real quick. So I believe this is the crab deck that Mozi and Johnny worked on together, but everyone only gives credit to Mozi and no credit to Johnny at all, which Johnny always reminds people, hey, this is his deck too. Let's see here. Did I throw this up in Discord that we were going live? No, I have not. Let me go ahead and do that. This is the Berserker deck. It's water, fight on, 3 let go, 3 tattooed wanderer for the splash. Wicked Tetsubo. We see 3 of them. That's going to be used to set somebody's skill to 0. We see Yakumo, Butcher of the Fallen, Crisis Breaker as those Berserkers. 3 Cooney Labs, 3 Iron Mine, and a single Forges as far as that go. We see City of the Rich Frog and Shinsei's Last Hope, so those are going to be 2 targets. We see Defend the Wall over Upholding Authority, and then Fertile Fields and Cooney Wasteland for the provinces. So this looks pretty standard. Let's see. Looks like they are into the game. So we've gone over the deck list. So we see Crab is first. They use their Stronghold, and they buy a Student of Anatomies with 2. On their flop, they've got a Cooney Labs, a Shruki, an Oushi, a Vanguard Warrior, a Student of Anatomies, and an Iron Mine. On the Dragon side, we see a Mia Mystic, a Yokuni, a Doom Shigenza, a Season of War, and a Favorable Ground. So we see Crab buys that Vanguard Warrior off of Shinsei's Last Hope. It comes in Dishonored, but it costs nothing because it's 2 less off of there. And we do see Season of War get triggered by our Dragon player. And so Crab is going to go ahead and buy this Envoy now. And they've got another Kuni Lab, a Crisis Breaker, the Kaiu Forges, and 2 Shrewd Yusuki. We see another Doom Shigenja, Maya Mystic, Mitsu 1 over Mitsu 2, and Masahage, or Masa, I'm not sure on how his name is said, for Dragon. But looks like our viewers are starting to get in, so feel free to correct me as I say everything wrong in this game. But Dragon probably looking to buy another character here. Not sure what they want, though, with only the 5 Fate. They can't really get any of their characters to stick around very long. They can't do another Doomed because of the limited keyword. So they may also just consider passing here for the Fate. But I think getting a second character on board is more what they're looking to do. And we do see the Mystic get bought. So Mystic should be useful in taking care of any attachments that the Crab player plays, and Crab is on quite a few attachments. Wicked Tetsubo is going to be a pretty good one to target. All right, so we see both players bid 5 for our draw phase. And this Kuni Lab already doing some work, buffing the stats of all 3 of these characters. Alright, so it looks like we're seeing a military Earth attack with this Vanguard Warrior, and they run into Shameful Display. So it looks like the Mystic is going to be set to defend, and we'll probably see a Shameful trigger. So honoring that Mystic, dishonoring the Vanguard Warrior, who was already dishonored. So no change there. We see Bonsai played on the Vanguard Warrior, bringing it 6-2, so Shameful is now breaking. We'll see what Dragon wants to invest in this defense, if anything. All right, and we see a Bonsai come down on the other side on this Mystic to defend, so trying to prevent the Shameful from breaking. All right, so Mozi's just going to take the Earth Ring there. We see Against the Waves discarded, so that's a good hit on that Earth Ring. Prevents a possible Yokuni ready later, or the Mystic or Doomed ready this turn. All right, I can my dinner's almost done. I might, depending on how this game goes, take a quick break to bring some food up and eat while we watch and commentate on this game. Alright, looks like we're seeing the Doomed make an attack here. We'll see what they decide on as far as the ring and which province they want to attack. It looks like they're actually uh, deciding if they want to do the conflict. I don't know if maybe we're seeing some lag to keep going back and forth there, but they do in the end decide to pass their conflict. So City of the Rich Frog and Shinsei's Last Hope are going to be, they tend to be fairly high priority targets as far as provinces to get off the board. It looks like we're going to see a political water attack here from Mozi into Shameful Display. So that's going to force the Doomed to defend, or it will get bowed by the Water Ring. So we see a policy debate come out from this Doomed Shigenja to the Envoy. So it's going to be 3-1 to start on that policy debate, thanks to this CUNY Labs. And we see a 1-1 bid. So we'll see Crab's hand. It looks like it's Common Cause, Tessin, Fine Katana, 2 Let Goes, a Fan, 2 Tattooed Wanderers, and Way of the Crab. So we'll see what the Dragon player prioritizes here. And Common Cause is discarded. So get rid of one of those ready effects. We see a fan attached to the Student of Anatomies. That brings Shameful into breaking range. So we'll see if Dragon still wants to defend this, or if they're just going to let it go. So we see the Mystic used to discard that fan. Alright, and we see a Tattooed Wanderer played into the conflict with 1 Fate, bringing us back up to breaking. And Crab still has an additional Fate, so they can still play that second Tattooed Wanderer into this conflict if they need to. We see court games used to dishonor an opposing character, and that goes on the Wanderer. So no stat change there, just a dishonor token on the Wanderer. Might be relevant depending on how long Crab keeps out this CUNY Labs, but I don't think we're going to see a dishonor victory here in this game. Alright, and Shameful is broken. Mitsu being discarded, and the Vanguard Warrior is readied off that Water Ring. Alright, so this Student of Anatomies, as long as there's a character to sacrifice, is going to make a lot of Dragon's big characters have no effect on the game other than just their stats. So take away their ability, that's going to be highly relevant for Crab to keep on the board. And I do not believe any assassinations are being run by either player. So one assassination in the Crab deck, but no assassination in this Dragon deck. Alright, and we see Vanguard Warrior used to put an additional Fate on that Student of Anatomies, so increasing its longevity by an additional round. And Crab wants to keep that student for as long as they can, just to blank any big character that Dragon throws out. So Yokuni or Mitsu are going to be high priority targets. So if you're in the chat and can hear me, let me know. So we see on our flops a Katsuki Investigator, a Venerable Fortunist, and is this Kadaka? Is that what this card is? Yeah. And Kadaka come out. Yeah, Kaiju Fortress sitting on Shinsei isn't great. Um, but it came there with the use of Season of War last turn, and it looks like Crab decided to keep their entire uh, Dynasty cards. Those two Yusuke are going to be great, and so is the Crisis Breaker. But they do use their Stronghold first to get an Oushi with 2 Fate, discarding a Keeper Initiate and a Kuni Labs as they do so. Yeah. So Kaiju Forges is great anywhere else. You're not getting the benefit of Shinsei's Last Hope here with Kaiju Forges being there. But it does make it much harder to break. I imagine, though, we'll see it used for possibly an Iron Mine or a Kuni Lab, and then possibly discarded after that. So we see Kadaka bought with 3 Fate here by our Dragon player. And Crab responds by playing one of these Yusuke with 2. And we see bid of 5 to 4. So I've seen Mozi does this a lot. He bids 4, gets an honor from his opponent, and then that honor is lost to the Kuni Labs, essentially making your opponent pay for your Kuni Lab. Yeah. And so make your opponent pay for your Kuni Lab, get that +1 strength, and Yusuke allows you to get a card. So you're not really going down on cards either, because you'll still get a 5th card when you trigger Yusuke. So, and this Oushi on board is going to make it difficult for Dragon to want to attack, because Crab winning on defense can give them an extra conflict, and Dragon doesn't want to see that right now. All right, so we'll see if Dragon decides they want to attack or if they're going to go on the defensive here. And if they decide to pass this first conflict. So with this Oushi out, I think waiting is it's definitely a tough decision because you need to be aggressive or Crab is going to run over you. And this Kuni Labs makes it hard to even defend against Crab right now. But we do see that Dragon does pass their conflict. So we're going to see just a political void poke. Oh no, military void. They do flip it to military with this Tattooed Wanderer. And they run into Feast or Famine. So this is a potential way to get this Student of Anatomies or Oushi off the board just slightly sooner by taking a fate from them with Feast or Famine. But it looks like Dragon is thinking about defending this. And they do. They defend here with Kudaka. So we might be anticipating a Void Fist this round. But we might just see maybe a Hurricane Punch just to get up to strength and win this conflict. Yeah, and there's the Hurricane Punch. Yeah, I guess it could also be for box. I'm so used to High House of Light and not Mountain's Anvil Castle anymore. Yeah, it could also be for Sacred Sanctuary, um, making sure to be able to ready Kadaka. So, all right. So we see policy debate. I think this dragon's only running two. Yeah, so they're only running two. So that's both policy debates. Two Tessins, fight on, a Katana, two Let Goes, rebuild, two Tattooed Wanderers, and Wave the Grab in the hand. So they got an additional Tattooed Wanderer. Um, and we see rebuild discarded to policy debate, so that gets rid of rebuild. Yeah, so this deck is running against the waves. Also Indomitable Will, which we see there to keep Kadaka standing. And so we might see an attack here. But again, Crab is going to be able to defend. Um, and defending is going to, if they succeed, going to give them an extra conflict. Um, so although they don't have a lot of pumps in their hand, and so having that hand information is great knowledge for the dragon player, should tell them whether they can actually win a conflict or not. And it looks like they are contemplating here an attack with both the Doom Shigenja and Kadaka. And they are going political air. So this air ring, if they claim it, they'll be able to trigger Kudaka's ability, unless this student decides to sacrifice this Bowed Tattooed Wanderer to blank, which I could see being done. Yeah. Student eating the Wanderer, like that's why the Wanderer poked first, is get the use out of it, and then you can sack it to the Student of Anatomies. And so we do see an all-in defense here. So 8 to 11, and at City of the Rich Frog. Crab currently winning here on defense. All right, we see Yasuki used to grab a card. So now there's going to be one card in the hand that Dragon does not know. We see a Finger of Jade played down on Kadaka. So that'll save from one effect, including being blanked. And then we see Stronghold triggered to give +2/+2, bringing us to 10 to 11. So still not winning this conflict. But let's see what else they have. All right, so we see Katana come down on Oushi. And we see court games used to honor Kadaka. So that'll bring it up to 11 to 11. So we will see Dragon winning this conflict currently. And we see Let Go used to get rid of the seal. And we know there's at least one more Let Go in Mozi's hand. They may have gotten the third one with Yasuki. Yeah, prepping Defend Your Honor, Avoid Fist. And now Void Fist is irrelevant, as there is no longer a monk on the dragon side. So now we do see the Tattooed Wanderer, and a Void Fist could currently send just the Yasuki or Student of Anatomies home. But that Tattooed Wanderer does get us back up to where Dragon is winning this conflict. And we do see Student used to blank Kadaka. All right, so currently 11 to 11 here. So not breaking, but Dragon is at least winning. All right, and we do see a Void Fist used to send the Yasuki home, which will get Dragon to a point where they are breaking. We do know that Crab has a fight on, and so it's potential that they could use that, but it looks like they don't care, and they go ahead and pass. So this breaks the city of the Rich Frog, and everybody goes homebound. We see Tessin used to ready the Student of Anatomies. And we might see another one for the Yasuki. Depends on how aggressive they want to be. It looks like we're going to see a political attack with this student. Most likely Earth, possibly fire here. Oh, it looks like they're going water. They get some keeper initiates with this. That will actually secure them favor. And they go at Feast or Famine. Yeah, Crab has two Tessins. I used one of them on this student. So we do see Feast or Famine break, and a Fate taken off of Oushi and placed on the Doom Shigenja. Oushi is readied, and Keeper Initiate's going to come out. So that's going to secure favor for Crab. And the whole board sticks around this turn for both players. And Crab's still choosing to keep this Forges on Shinsei's Last Hope. We see a Gallant Quartermaster, Yakumo, come out, as well as this Yasuki still there. On the Dragon side, we see a Tranquil Philosopher, Swordsmith, and Mitsu show up. So I imagine Dragon's looking for this Mitsu. But Mitsu is going to get blanked. This Keeper Initiate and Gallant Quartermaster are perfect sacrifices to blank that Mitsu. All right, and we see Crab trigger their box and buy Yakumo with 2, or Yakumo with 1, and then discards the duplicate for 2. And Dragon just taking the Swordsmith with 2 on it. So both players bid 1 here. So with Crab being down to 6 honor, our bids have now dropped to 1, likely for the rest of the game. And Dragon only 5 cards in hand after that Swordsmith grabs a Seal of the Dragon. And Crab on 9, and still has a Yasuki to trigger this round. So they'll get an additional card there. So Crab definitely up on cards. and up on brakes and board right now. Mitsu should have been bought to allow Kadaka to trigger. Yeah, so give enough targets for the student to not know who to blank. All right, and it looks like we see a political fire poke, and they run into restoration of balance. Yeah, so it's either resto or upholding authority. So either one was going to cost cards for this grab player. And we do see defense with the Doom Shigenja, and Dragon will win that conflict. So now this Gallant Quartermaster is ready to be sacrificed to this Student of Anatomies to blank one of these Dragon characters, Kadaka being the obvious choice here, as Swordsmith has already been used, and Wanderer and Doom Shigenja don't do anything anyway. All right, so we see a Tattooed Wanderer played on Yakumo after Dragon passes their conflict. So Yakumo going to be able to covert somebody. As Crab is currently less honorable than Dragon, Yakumo's not going to bow during a military conflict either, as a result of resolution. So we'll still have Yakumo to defend as well. Dragon does have favored ground, so they can get into the conflict even if Yakumo coverts them. So we'll see where Crab decides to go. All right, looks like Crab is contemplating attacking with everybody but the student into Restoration with the Earth Ring. All right, and we do see covert on Kadaka and no defense, and then we see favorable ground used to move the Doom Shigenja into the conflict. And so we see Crab playing cards to not lose them to Restoration. So we see an Ornate Fan go down on the Student of Anatomies, as well as a Tattooed Wanderer to go down on the Student of Anatomies. All right, we see Student Blank Kadaka. And we see Tetsubo, Wicked Tetsubo played on Yakumo. So let's see, there's one more card they want to play. Or are they okay losing one card to this Restoration? All right, yeah, and we do see them Crab to the Restoration of Balance, but then draw a card with the Earth Ring. We see Bonsai discarded at random by the Dragon player. So all in all, this is looking really good for Crab. And they played the Tessend already, this Yasuki. So they've got pretty good defense here. And so as Dragon here, attacking could be it. With this, if you attack military, Yakumo can defend, and then Tetsubo, the biggest guy, to make sure they win, and then get an extra conflict because of Ouji, and then go right at your stronghold. Oh yeah, Yasuki wasn't used. Yeah. So I think as Dragon, you need to consider whether attacking here is valuable, because Crab is going to have a pretty good defense either way, whether you go military or political. And Dragon does decide to pass their conflict opportunity. All right, so we see Ford is triggered, but nothing taken. And both players tie on Glory, so Favor stays right where it's at. And Crab is going after Dragon's Stronghold right now, and Dragon currently has no monks that they can use. We do know they have a Seal of the Dragon that they picked up from the Swordsmith, but we also know that Crab has a Let Go still in their hand. So I imagine that if we see a Seal of the Dragon come down on a non-monk, that it will get let go right away. And Dragon needs a let go to deal with this Wicked Tetsubo either way. And we do see Butcher of the Fallen come out for Crab in their flop, along with an Iron Mine, another dupe of Yakumo, and a Season of Horror. And on the Dragon side, we see Mitsu, Takashi Initiate, Yokuni, and a Mystic. So we do see Mitsu bought with 3. But Mozi buys this Butcher. Mitsu can't defend unless Dragon gets a break on their first attack. All right, and so we see Yakumo, and then we see Mystic bot on the Dragon side, and then Crab triggers their box to get a Gallant Quartermaster. All right, so Dragon passes, and we do see the Butcher bot with 1 additional fate here. And so that's pretty tough for Dragon to deal with. They now have to break a province in order to be able to declare any defenders against this Butcher. So they may have Hawk Tattoos to pull in. No, they are not running any Hawk Tattoos, so that is not an option. All right, so we see Swordsmith grab a Katana, and we see a 1 to 5 bid here. So Dragon definitely digging for something. All right, I definitely feel like this crab deck is just hard to deal with because when they have Ouchi out, attacking them becomes risky, and when they have Butcher out, they can just attack you with basically no risk. Yeah. All right. So we see Quartermaster sacrifice to Blank Mitsu. And so that is going to actually allow Mitsu to be coverted by on this conflict. So even if they do break a province now, the Giacomo can just covert them and still won't have any defenders. Yeah, math on the Butcher is bad, especially with Miyamoto's Fury and a Fate Worse Than Death both on the restricted list. So, yeah, I can definitely see that. Like, Butcher is a very, very strong card. And Rally on top of it is makes it even better. Rally is just a fantastic keyword for deck building, and Rally on a good card is just amazing. Did anyone playtest said math? I am sure there were several people that playtested said math. All right, so we see a military Earth Ring attack at Shinsei's Last Hope with everything from Dragon. And it looks like we see just a token defense from this Yasuki. They go and grab a card. Yeah, Butcher's not just strong, it's aggressively pushed. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's definitely a pushed card. So the defense against it is break provinces as quickly as possible. So we do see a break um, on Shinsei's Last Hope, and Watch Commander discarded to the Earth Ring. Now, Dragon still needs some way to prevent this. All right, we see Cloud the Mind played on the Butcher and then Let Go, immediately played to get rid of it. And we do see Tattooed Wanderer coming down on Mitsu to give covert. Yeah, you can put Butcher next to the 6 drops and he's better than all of them. Yeah. I'm not super familiar with all of the 6 drops, but uh, I think he's definitely close if he's not. I don't think most of the 6 drops see play, which tells you something of their power level. Um, Butcher to punish do nothing decks, yeah, that's possible. And 6 military is too much on him. Yeah, I think maybe if he was a 4 military, it would be slightly better. But then Butcher couldn't defend against himself until you broke a few provinces. used to ready Kadaka, and then and then we see Mystic used to discard Tattooed Wanderer. But that only gets rid of Tattooed Wanderer on one of the two characters with it. So this Kudaka still isn't going to be able to defend. And Mitsu's still going to get converted. So Dragon, I don't think they have any way to get any characters into this conflict. So that is going to be the end of it. And Dragon saying they didn't see a single one of their let goes. Definitely would have mattered in this conflict. Being able to get rid of those attachments would have been super useful. Yeah, too much synergy in the clan that defends the best should have been a Lion card. Yeah, I think Lion's been pushed way too much. And I played Lion at the very first Worlds. So, like, I get Lion and I like Lion, but I definitely see that they've gotten a lot of very strong cards lately. So that is going to be the game. So USA is going to take this one over Brazil. So this crab deck is just nasty to deal with. All right, and it looks like Dragon, after conceding, has looked at their deck just to see where their let goes are for fun. But thanks so much for coming in, hanging out, watching the game with me as I poorly commentate it. It was a lot of fun. We will definitely try and catch more games this weekend as they come up. But until then, we will catch you later.